let's make a step back and look at the art of making things done. And if you allow me, I would say getting two birds with a stone, because as human beings, we are animals creating two major issues in our environment. First of all, we create a lot of waste, and then we consume a lot of energy. So why not trying to attack our way of being a burden for the environment, trying to get some sense out of it and some added value. And I'm inviting now Heinz Hoffmann from CleanCarbon to explain how the hell they do it.
Hello, okay. Hi and welcome to my presentation. It's a follow-up from yesterday's open speech from my CEO from CleanCarbon, Udo Abraham. He shortly explained what UHDH is, and also why we have started in the Canary Island, especially on Fuerteventura, and why we are now a member of the FIWARE community. Let me take to this context. First, we have heard from my pre-speaker that energy is one of a heavy contributor for the climate change. And all of us know exactly the initiatives that are coming from the United Nations, like sustainable target goals, and also the initiatives from the European nation. But when we are speaking about energy, the green energy, mainly we are speaking about wind, solar and hydraulic. We know that it has advantages, but also disadvantages. For example, the wind energy needs space, can a little bit be ugly in a suburb, or we have problems with the velocity and any other unstable situation. Solar energy also, there is a limitation because during night we don't have light. Hydraulic, we have seen, rivers are drying out, dams can be not filled if it's not raining. But we have forgotten something who is already available. Over decades, this increasing population and cities has gathered lots of waste. We try to reduce this waste with recycling initiatives, that's also good. But even then, we try to take this energy carrier and we burn that away. That means we spend a lot of money in the last decades to collect this waste and use carbon, fossil energy to burn an energy carrier away. At the end, we have CO2. So with the ultra high temperature gasification, we are convinced that we can be a part in this energy solution. That's a new technology who take the waste in the machine and then it heats it up. Gasification is the expression for it. At the end, we get heat, hydrogen, electricity, or the syngas. It depends on the demand of any suppliers or consumers. The energy itself, who comes out, for example, the syngas, can be reused to gasification, the new waste is coming in again. So that means, and this solution is CO2 emission. That can be an additional part, not a competitor, that's complementary solution in the new future, we believe, and it's starting with huge demands alone. And that's funny, right? It remembers me a little bit when the new world has started with digging copper cable for telephone, and now the cell phone came up, and the third world jumped straight up and have used this cell phone technology. And here we see a little bit something similar. We have a demand of this machine and solution, and in places where they have not invested millions of euro for burning the waste away. So that can be a really a success that such countries start together with us. And this solution, of course, has a lot of data. Smoke detector, sensorics, humidity, and also the process self. And that's a new technology, and we have to learn how we can improve the process to get the better volume and energy level with this solution. We can't only put the waste in, we have to learn how to mix, etc. That's the innovation part of this project itself. And at the end, with all this data we gather, I call it cooking book, we have a solution that we can share. Because this machine will be spread more and more widely in the world, and then someone has already experienced with this kind of waste, etc., and this energy output, we can share it. And I'm really keen to be, or we as CleanCarbon, already a part of this FIWARE. We believe that we should share the data and also to improve the services together, because services are not only energy delivery, so there are lots more services. And I have also learned yesterday and this morning, this community is also developing new service, and we believe we can adapt that. So, this picture shows that we can integrate vertically what we are already doing. Consumer producers can be hotels, agriculture, harbor ships, hospitals. They have really toxic waste sometimes, and they deliver that to this waste to energy UHD plant, and from there it's distributing again to the consumer producer. Let me explain. A hotel, first they recycle the waste food or glasses, etc., and then it comes to the waste itself, and we can then produce with the waste, not recyclable waste, the energy, and we can then deliver this energy to the hotel itself. That's the vertical integration, but with spreading more and more plants, machines, even also the actual solar and wind energy station, we can connect, and then we have a better visualization about the balance of the energy, what the society and industry need is for. So that's the reason we have not only looked to install this machine and to run this machine, we have quickly learned that we have gathering this data and then to develop new services. And that was the touch points we had to FIWARE, and we were really happy surprised that along on the island of Canary Island, they have started smart island projects and smart tourism project, and that shows us that's the right way, and we have to be a member of this solution. But when you're looking for such an IT connection solution, first of all, you should also know which managed service or basic service we have to support, or we have to need, or we have to consume. For example, track and trace, data collection, security roles, when the hotel then have access to the data and see the energy they have produced. That's just an example. That we have found with the FIWARE platform, that's the right solution that we can really quick going forward. But that's for me just the basic. The other thing is then the other services we already see, and starting with some pilots, is the additional service. We are always discussing about technique, physical things, etc. But we also should have the focus of soft skills. We can slowly, with such solution, change the behaviors with credits, supports, etc. Let me explain just with these pictures. We are really interested to have, not only for ourselves, a waste and energy dashboard. Maybe the city itself needs that, and we can plug in. Then the consumer self or the end user maybe can also choose, for example, a hotel who has already started to be sustainable and also to reduce the waste, and then maybe that can help for the consumer to choose which hotel I want to take. And then, and that's what we already have launched, for the crypto nerds of you, we have our own token, Cargo it calls, it's available. The idea is there on the blockchain channel that maybe we can connect this physical thing like a smart collection point, that you get benefits, credits in your wallet. Then I believe I grew up in a community that you are getting always fined if you throw the waste away, and it doesn't help when you have everywhere cameras and police. We should help the people to change the behavior with motivation. And nowadays it's possible. And that's the thing I believe. We have now the physical solution to produce this green energy with a platform, and more important, with a community who is already there. And I have learned this morning, these new data spaces, that's exactly what they expect. To be a part in a data space, in an energy data space or in a touristic data space, that we can take this information or we deliver our information in this environment. And then we can together develop even services like we see real time how the landfills are getting smaller, for example, or the climate is changing. We can integrate that, and then we bring that into the same solution that maybe the consumer or the end user see the thing is changing, and then he's motivated. We believe in such things. And by the way, the waste is still growing, even we recycle. But it's not only the only source of energy. Over decades, these smart cities we have heard before, there's somewhere out landfills who polluted the water, the air as well, and the space is also limited. So we have to take this energy who is lying around in such solution to reduce and then to improve and to have a beitrag into the climate change. Okay, my time is over. I'm finished.
Thank you, Heinz. Very, very exciting. Did you find courage for the question or not? Okay.
Thank you.
Heinz, thanks again.